In a follow-up video to what would happen to DC Studios and WB if Paramount Skydance gets their hands on them, or when they do, in this video we're going to talk about the impact this would have on the entire studio, but also how this directly impacts DC Studios and whether or not their future would be safe. And to tell you the truth, probably not. So as a note, this actually had to be made as a separate video to the breaking Paramount Preps WB Discovery takeover bid, because that video ended up being close to 20 minutes and I wasn't going to put that out. So this is a Ask Armin, which I knew was going to be obviously asked, and shout out to people who have reached out to me on my Instagram and stuff asking me to do a Ask Armin about what happens with a potential merger or a sale of WB. So if you're one of those many people that asked, this is for you, the potential takeover. Now, some of you did ask about a potential Sony takeover. That's not going to happen. They're not going to take over WB Discovery. It's more than likely going to be Paramount Skydance. So that's what we're going to talk about here. So if you somehow missed it, the Wall Street Journal and then CNBC and then all the other major trades and outlets and actual websites that focus on financial news and reports are all reporting, yes, it is in fact happening. Paramount and Skydance are going to offer a bid takeover for WB Discovery. This means that they are going to start the process of acquiring all assets owned by WB Discovery. And this would effectively be before they split. So if you missed what's happening, WB Discovery is splitting into two entities. One will be films and HBO, the other will be all their other stuff. Well, Paramount Skydance is moving in to acquire all of it before this can happen. They are doing this as a strategic move to be able to bolster their portfolio and essentially be potentially top dog in Hollywood. Let's be real, with that much firepower behind them, they're going to be pretty big. So the big question was, and this was automatically asked in the other video, what happens to DC Studios if Paramount buys WB Discovery? This is going to be a tough one, but a potential reboot. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. I said this every time an acquisition happens. People say it's not going to happen, and it happens. When a new studio and a new CEO and head of divisions takes over, they want to cut everything up apart and carve it up that the former regime did. This literally happened with the DCEU twice, and David Zaslav a third time was going to do it. But ultimately, he saw that it was a dead road after Black Adam and said, you know what, Gunn? You do it. We're making an exclusive studio, DC Studios, and that's going to be a subdivision of WB. Has it worked out? Well, so far, yes. But there's always doubt, which puts us into this interesting position right now with what's going on. Because let's go with the hypothetical that Paramount Skydance will officially take over WB Discovery. The first thing that will happen is obviously a waiting period till it gets approved, which means both studios operate as normal. This would more than likely be done within a year to a year and a half. At that time, we go through a provisional 3 to 6 month wait of analysis. They sit down, they look at everything, they talk to everybody. And then around the 2-year mark after they officially bid, we start to see changes. This would more than likely come close to a giant investors call, much like WB Discovery did. And then you get exactly what David Zaslav and co. did with WB's old assets. You are going to see them replace heads of studios. You're going to see them cancel multiple projects. You're going to see them effectively reconstruct the entire studio structure from WB Discovery from the bottom up, with pretty much everybody getting replaced from people at WB Discovery. Those that stay will be ushered in a lesser position or an equal position. Others will be given a golden parachute and be sent on their way out. This does, of course, include DC Studios. DC Studios is, as of right now, profitable and great. But that doesn't mean you're safe. And there is already proof in this because what Paramount has done to Star Trek. They've been killing it on TV. But Paramount Skydance merge, suddenly everything TV is getting shut down so they can bring back J.J. Abrams and Transformers is Dead to bring back Michael Bay. Skydance and Paramount will insist on their own DC universe. I'm not lying to you when I tell you that Paramount and Skydance will want their own DC universe. Now, whether that's continuing to work with James Gunn or continue what he's done or just straight up reboot it, we don't know. Nobody knows that. But the fact of the matter is, there will be a huge change. Paramount will have so much at their disposal, but guess what they don't have an unlimited amount of? Money. Right now, and let's say 3 years ago, Paramount, Skydance, and WB individually could each put out 12 films a year and 12 TV series a year. I'm just using that as a ballpark, just so we make the math simple. We go back to this year, before Paramount Skydance merged, WB, still the same, 12 and 12. Paramount and Skydance, suddenly after merger, they're going from 12 and 12 each to 14 films and 16 TV series. Again, I'm just ballparking, but I'm showing you what happens. Mergers give us less content. What's going to happen when they got a third outlet? They will once again have to trim the fat and only focus on guarantees. Guarantees that are going to be blockbusters. So what are they going to greenlight? Are they going to potentially greenlight a film centering on somebody like, I don't know, Constantine and Swamp Thing? Or are they going to greenlight another Top Gun film, or a Superman sequel, or a potential reboot? Or are they going to give something else to J.J. Abrams and Michael Bay? Exactly. So right now, I'm telling you, things are going to change. When this happens, you're going to get less content. No question about it. And there is a high probability chance that WB is completely restructuring from the inside out, and that DC Studios is going to be revamped as well. Now, of course, this would still be minimum of 2.5 years out. So if they officially start the buying process, let's say in October, it's not going to be done till October of 27. That means that all those films in 27 and Batman Part 2 will be coming out. If they show signs of life, profits are going up and merchandise is up, they are safe. But if we start seeing loss of money, if Man of Tomorrow makes the same amount as Superman with a higher budget, problematic. If the Batman Part 2 makes less than Part 1 or on the same footing and costs more, problematic. Then the studios and the heads of them will have an argument going, why did we keep this guy and this guy running the studio when they failed to bring the margins and the line up? The line must always go up in this society. That's how it works. That's how our society's built now. And if it doesn't, you fire people and cut content. The main takeaway here is that nothing is safe, and everything will change once this purchase goes through. Whether it's for better or worse, we don't know. But I have a feeling, as track records show, it might be for the worst when it comes to WB. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.